wants me to work overtime but won't pay for it. I am in the midst of leaving a truly terrible job. I have only been there for a year, but began noticing issues after the first month. Now, this is in healthcare and we work with very vulnerable people, and I have seen some horrendous ethical issues and lack of competency among employees and my employer, e.g., permitting clinicians to perform tasks they are not trained in, recommending treatments that are basically pseudoscience. Not to mention my employer has no respect for boundaries or work-life balance, which are essential in this field if you want to avoid burnout, and has horrible work-life balance, time management, and organizational skills themselves, leading them to be behind on all work constantly with over 2,000 emails sitting in their inbox. This also resulted in much of my work being delayed and clients getting upset that they are waiting for things that the employer needs to do. Because of this incompetence, I get constant emails and texts asking me to work on off days, or my employer texting at 8 p.m. or 7 a.m. and expecting a reply. I have set very clear boundaries from the start that I don't work outside my hours, and have also raised concerns about the ethics, competency issues, which resulted in my employer becoming defensive and emotional, and changing nothing. Since giving my notice, the employer has been pushing boundaries even more. So, being the compliant human that I am, and because I do need to wrap up things that I have been waiting for my employer to get to for months, I began responding and including every single work-related communication outside of my hours, or requests for a small task that I need to complete on an off day as hours worked, and have banked up some nice overtime. Last week the employer sent an email saying that I am no longer allowed to work overtime and every hour worked OT will be banked as vacation time instead. I don't want that, because if I am working OT I deserve to be paid for it. So I immediately stopped responding to anything after hours or on off days, and have been working only 8 hours on my scheduled days. The frustration and passive aggression coming from my employer since I did that is unmatched. Truly, they should get an award for the snarky and condescending emails and texts they have sent me. I only have a few days left and will be filing an ethics complaint for the many egregious things I have seen once I am out of there. It's what they deserve, and I can't wait. Edit. Formatting. Every hour worked OT will be banked as vacation time instead. Save that email, and when it happens, file a wage complaint with the Department of Labor. This isn't just run-of-the-mill wage theft. It's likely a violation of the Fair Labor Standards Act. File for unemployment. You might get it if you have your proof in order. I only have a few days left and will be filing an ethics complaint for the many egregious things I have seen once I am out of there. It's what they deserve, and I can't wait. On behalf of everyone affected, thank you. You may have a case for retribution as well, and keep a lawyer around for whistleblowing. Good luck. No. How dare you want to not be at my beck and call 24/7? If I email you, you should be grateful that I'm communicating with you. What do you mean overtime pay? No, that's not a thing. Comments shocked Pikachu face when having to pay OT and possibly fines. When you leave, report their failings to the appropriate government agency in charge of regulating them. I would have done what you are doing long ago. Document everything and alert your local labor board. This is likely illegal for them to use vacation to pay OT. You need to file a report with your state Department of Labor. They can't just arbitrarily declare that your compensation will be altered from OT pay to vacation comp time unless it is specified in your contract or state law. You say that you are in healthcare. How big is your company? Because most of the larger companies, At least 50 employees. Have a dedicated HR department. This arbitrary change seems to not be something that most companies' HR would tolerate. If it were me, like I did with my last job, attaching a direct link to relevant state laws regarding whatever your issue is in an email conversation is a good way to let them know how much they have already screwed up. I know in my state it would be hella illegal to offer PTO in lieu of OT pay. This sounds like a hospital I went to as a patient once. They had a surgeon acting as a psychologist, psychiatrist. It sounds like you could also file a violation complaint with the Joint Commission as well. Skipping link. Make things worse by reporting to the licensing agency or whatever they call it in your state. Or to Medicare, Medicaid if they are paying for care. They all tend to frown on having to pay for things done by unqualified people but charged as if done by those who are qualified. You might be eligible for a whistleblower award. $. If you save the state or feds money. I think you should have been reporting them to whatever ethics bodies look after the fields they operate in as soon as you saw the issues. I sometimes have a bit of a problem with black and white thinking, especially when it comes to medical and mental health things. But I'm happy to accept you have valid, in your professional opinion, reasons for not doing the above reporting. I don't know the full situation, and a short text post on the internet cannot even begin to describe the nuance of your situation, position. I hope you get this employer completely sorted out by setting the relevant ethics bodies on them. And I hope you get every penny you're owed. 2. We want updates when the inevitable blow-up happens. I know I do. Good luck to you. The absolute tragedy of this is the patients suffer. In a lot of jobs it may be profit, loss at the end of the month, but in healthcare it's measured in people's loved ones. The folks that care deeply about their jobs often overlook the money or their own health to serve the patients, but management only sees $. My daughter is looking to get out of healthcare for that very reason. It worries me since I'm in for joint replacement surgery in 2 weeks and all I can do is hope the professionals will do their best they can on me. Good luck. Look to see if your employer even has the right licenses to run the business. And see if there is anything you can do to get the place shut down. A medical business that horribly ran deserves to be shut down and the owners sued. Ferengi Rule of Acquisition number 13, anything worth doing is worth doing for money. Time to call in sick for the last few days. Boss, you're asking me to work overtime for free. That's not just immoral or unethical. It's illegal. I'm not doing it. If you want me to work on off hours, you pay me overtime. You have a wage claim. Never mind the overtime you worked recently, you can collect up to 2 years of unpaid overtime. Just need the receipts. If you have any record of your hours worked over the pot year, TSKE that with you out the door and file a claim with the Department of Labor.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epic Ericast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.